1, 2, 3, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon. Oh.
So 48 games. But you, for Kane, you said 112 games.
Yes.
And I think 78 goals, you said.
78 goals.
So, yeah, I mean, Haaland clearly on that ratio of goals to games is way out in front, isn't he? But yeah, let's face it, they're the three where presumably the Ballon d'Or will come from, because they're sort of unbeatable statistics. And for my part, I was disappointed we didn't see Kane over these last games. These last nights, and I don't think he came on the Friday night game, did he, against Uruguay?
No.
So we've had two, in my view, very disappointing performances. And on the bench, you've got one of the best world forwards, if not the best world forward in terms of his goal ability, if you like. Brilliant man. And I don't think he's injured. I got the feeling that, from what I think I read, that Tuchel was resting him. So I was a bit disappointed not to see him come on in an otherwise drab performance, which is not ideal, let's face it, in the lead up to the World Cup finals in a few weeks' time.
Yeah. Now, I was going to come to that as well. So the Thursday game, a bit controversial, but nevertheless, our performance was it wasn't really up to the class that you'd expect of an England squad. But then I did notice that there was a lot of experimenting being done, and this was something that you've always talked about. I believe even since Southgate, actually, you've been talking about, or the only thing that you would love to change about the England national team would be just have a steady team. Let's know this is the team that's going to play, rather than chopping and changing. I think that's a word that you use. Now, there was a good example of that last night, of this not unstable selection. Now, that's our last game for the World Cup.
No, there's two more.
Okay.
I can't remember who they're against. One I think is might be the USA, but I know we've got two games we would. I read it this morning and I've forgotten who the teams, but two games we would expect to win. But after the last two performances and the team selections, I'm not so confident on that point. Yeah. But yeah, there's two more games before the World Cup. Two more games. And as I think you said, and I certainly agree, they're still experimenting with players as if they don't know what these players can do. So I'm at a loss about it, really. They appoint new managers. I mean, Tuchel's been there for a while now, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And he's had a couple of victories. He certainly lost last June, I think he lost to Bosnia. No, that's not right. No, sorry.
We lost to Senegal.
We lost to Senegal. We lost in June. And then these two results, one draw against Uruguay, and then last night against Japan, we lost. With teams that, all due respect to the players selected, but teams that were not really what you would expect to see at this late stage before a World Cup tournament. As I've said before, I like to think 3-4 months before a tournament, a manager is playing broadly the team he wants to play. They've got to get to know each other. They get precious little time together as international sides. So they should be playing together in the 3 to 6 months before. The manager would have had a chance to get round and see the players, and he knows what's what. Anyway, managers keep an eye.
Say hello to old Mimi, Dr. Gladys and Rose, 3 beautiful ladies who join us on our shows. There's one other bro, sometimes joins us on the show.
Anyway, managers keep an eye on teams even when they're not managing a team. And it just seems, as we've said before, with maybe we'll be surprised when the tournament comes. But Tuchel, who we know is a good manager from his days at he was at Chelsea, I think, wasn't he?
Yeah,
A good manager, and yet I don't know. I just feel. I think I read this morning that he feels he was looking at different players last night, and he's learned what they can or can't do. A bit of an experiment, and I just thought, well, it says it all. We want a team that knows each other. They got their instinct of knowing where their teammates will be. But you've got to build that. It doesn't just happen, and that's what I say. To think, Harry Kane. I think he's not been playing. He's a star man on that pitch, and he should be there. And he's the captain normally. He should be encouraging any youngsters there and so on. But it looked like a team adrift, and it became quite obvious, really, that we were not going to get anything out of that game, out of either game, really. I think we were probably a bit fortunate to draw, although we were ahead in the game on Friday against Uruguay. So, yeah, I'm a bit disappointed. Now, if we go on to do well in the World Cup, perhaps I'll say, well, maybe it doesn't matter. Perhaps you don't need to play the broad team that you were going to have in the months before. But I've said before, and even without naming players, and we can do, I think some of the players he's picking at the moment are from yesterday. We can say it. I mean, Jordan Henderson, he was a great captain at Liverpool. He's an excellent footballer. He's always had a great eye for a long pass. He's just that very good midfield player. And I'm not suggesting he can't still do that, but his whole career pattern changed when he went to Saudi, having left Liverpool a couple of years ago, whenever it was. And then I don't think he settled out there, but whatever, he came back, and of course he now plays for Brentford. I just feel that we need younger blood in the team, and maybe the same goes for a couple of others. And when you think of some of the goal scorers we have had, even like Ivan Toney, I mean, I think he went out to Saudi, didn't he? But we have produced great players. But last night, there's some very good footballers there, of course, but some you wouldn't necessarily expect to be being looked at by the management this close to a World Cup. They should know what they can do. They should know who they've got in mind. I mean, another thing I heard was that I think Sam Allardyce has said to, or suggested, that Harry Maguire shouldn't bother to go to the World Cup because apparently Tuchel has said before that Harry is fifth in line in terms of central defenders. There's players in front of him, John Stones, Mark Gay, and so on, possibly Dan Burn, I don't know. And I suppose...
Say hello to old Mimi, Dr. Gladys and Rose, three beautiful ladies who join us on our shows. There's one other bro, sometimes joins us